All right, guys, we're moving on to a new section of our DVD, and this is going to be finishing from the back. Now we've already covered control and, what to do, what the other guy's going to be looking to do to escape the position. And, we're kind of going, and the reason we're setting things up in this progression is that, obviously, commonly people show entries first, and they show some control and some finishes, kind of a little mishmash in there. I really feel that if you understand the control and you understand really all the little angles and the things that are going on that your opponent's going to try to do to shake you free, all the entries are going to be put in perspective, and in this case, all of the finishes are going to be easy, because again, if you can stay on my back indefinitely, you're going to get that choke. You've got a mechanical advantage over me. So punch the lapel down, taking the slack out of it. I open, catch. Notice the hook for my fingers. Here is not bad, but this blue gi, the one that was made for our academy, the lapel is kind of like a brick. So if I get a hold of this regularly, I don't have like the hugest hands in the world. It's tough. So I turn the lapel out, catch. Now, I'm going to cross my feet. I keep my right foot on bottom, I circle my left foot over top, making an X on Seth's leg. Can you move? This gives me cross-body control, because again, I don't want to have my feet floating around here too much. Anytime I sacrifice control, things can be going pretty well my way, but you never know. I circle and I grip, controlling. Again, not out here. Too much going on. I grip underneath Seth's arm, and now I undo my feet when I'm ready. So, controlling, 1, 2, and I start to rotate him. Now the finish, guys, let's circle for a second, comes right here. This is called the bow and arrow choke because I'm pulling here, and extending my hips. But what ends up happening, a common error, is you see people doing this. This doesn't mean never. I come up and I catch, and this is our standard Ezekiel. But what happens when I can't get this hand? All that a choke is cutting off both carotid arteries. It doesn't matter how it gets done. The hand is the obvious way. That's like, throttling somebody like this is a pretty obvious way to choke them. But as you guys know, in jiu-jitsu, you got arm triangles, you got leg triangles, things that a normal person wouldn't think of. So here we are. I still want to connect my hands. Circle a bit. Because if I don't connect, if I don't close this gap here, my left arm's always going to be the weak point of the choke. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my hand here, and I'm trying to get it up and trying to get it up over here, but Seth's staying tight. So option 1, I'm going to close the gap here with my shoulder. I'm extending my arm, and I'm dropping my shoulder on top of Seth's tricep, right here. So we're controlling, I drop my shoulder. I may even put my hand on top to help secure it. It needs to be a whip. It's like whack, plant, drive, whack with my elbow, because my elbow is the thing that's up against his arm, and that's what's going to dislodge his grip. So if we come back, Seth's on his back. I've got the arm here. We're in position. My left foot is over top, controlling. I switch my arms. Grab my own thigh or my hip, doesn't really matter. Don't grab here. I don't like it. If you had great discipline, I guess you could hold your own posture. I've got bad posture habits, so I always do this. So stop that. I grab my own thigh, put my hand on the mat. This is also to make sure, Seth, if you rock your hips and sit up into me, I don't want this. Rock your hips now. I don't even move. Right foot hits the mat. I pop off of here, kinetic chain, guys, and I'm turning my whole body to my left. Try again, hold on as tight as you can, watch this. So for right now, I want you guys going, you're taking your full commitment movement to the harness, going boom, and dropping behind him, latching on with the intention of creating that bend in his neck that's going to give us a great deal of control. Because again, it's not wrong to throw the hook, but once you really get that harness, you can immediately attack the neck, which is why I feel that it's superior. So I'm on Seth's side, he turns away from me. As soon as I see his back, I drop underneath. Notice how my head's right next to him? My shoulder's behind his head. Can you turn back in, Seth? I dominate this top shoulder. My hands are pulled in tight. I could be opening his lapel, sucking my elbow back, making our transitions, our chair sit transitions, all the movements that you've seen so far that we're going to be able to get ourselves to these positions that we can surprise our opponent and kind of force him to make a big movement that he wouldn't otherwise make. So when I say passing switches, we're going to get into specific ones, but the idea is like, say for instance, I'm here, I'm in Seth Deli Heva guard, my drag past his guard, he turns to face me, I go behind, and now there's his back.